Welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Shorts, where today we're looking at this lovely specimen here. Now, I admit, it looks like a weed, and you probably think it looks like a weed, but nothing could be further from the truth. You see, the scientific name of this plant is Lunaria rediviva. Its common name is Perennial Silver Dollar plant, and yes, it's related to those old-timey plants that you see in your garden sometimes, that come back from seed. It's in the Brassicaceae family, which means it's actually in the cabbage grouping, which means it is actually, believe it or not, the foliage is edible. The name rediviva means restored to life, reviving, or growing again. Lunaria means moonlight, which refers to its seed pods, which I'll cover in a moment. It's native to Europe, and in this case, this specimen got here in North America, in North Carolina, in Zone 8A, through a seed packet of its cousin, Lunaria annua, that I bought through a company called Botanical Interests. So, it's here. Deal with it. Now, here's the hard deets. Perennial Silver Dollar plant is hardy in zones 5 through 8 as a perennial. Its soil pH preference is 5.5 through 8.0, and its exposure preference is full sun to partial sun. Its height can be up to 3 feet tall, or 36 inches, and its width can be up to 12 inches wide. Not bad. And it's also known as Perennial Honesty, as is anything else in the Lunaria grouping, because for some odd reason they're called Honesty. Now, why they're called Honesty, I don't know, and I've never been able to find a clear answer, but that's okay. So, why does it have that name Lunaria? Well, the seed pods are roughly circular. They have these papery husks on them that are roughly silvery colored, and they resemble either the moon, because it may have 1 to 3 flat, dark seeds on it that look like craters, or it resembles a silver dollar, because it's about that size and about that color. Back in the old days, it's sort of a silvery color. That's how it got those names. Okay, that's not bad. But the flowers themselves can be anywhere from a purplish color to a lilac color. Some of them come out white, even. It's a pretty plant. And it's a reliable plant that can self-sow, that has barely been modified by man. It's pretty straight to nature and easy as heck to grow. Okay. So, it blooms in late spring and early summer, which is fine with me. I mean, that's great. Good time for color. The leaves, as I mentioned, are edible. It is in the cabbage family. It and Lunaria annua are both edible. So there's that. You have it for a forage food, and no, it will not appear as a forage plant. I have yet to see it in the wild here in the Carolinas, but that's not to say it doesn't exist, but I haven't seen it yet. And that runs on what I encounter. Also, why is it perennial? Well, unlike Lunaria annua, it has little tiny tubers on its root that allows it to keep growing and storing sugars and starches and so forth, so it can continue growing year after year. This specimen is about 2 years old, and it's doing just fine, though honestly I think it's probably a little tired of that pot. So, that is actually a Perennial Silver Dollar plant for you. This is a pretty short video, but I thought I'd cover it because we're coming up on the end of the year, and let's throw some oddballs in there. So, if you have any thoughts about growing Lunaria, either the annual or the perennial version, keep in mind the annual isn't actually an annual, it's truly a biennial, but that's beside the point. Please put those down there in the comments section. If you have any thoughts about it, or you want to ask me about how I grow it and what I do and how I put the seed out, please go ahead and ask. That's what it's there for. In the description of this video, you will find a link to the Forage blog, which covers wild plants that you can eat in North America safely. And if they're not safe, I'll explain why. So there's that. So, with that said, if you like this, please hit like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And as always, folks, keep them growing, and thanks for watching.